Just looking at the Twitter account from the president this morning, Kevin, it does look like that as we approach 2020, the approach towards China and the prospect of getting a deal might adjust as well.
Yes, readjusting expectations. President Trump last week signaling that he is not anticipating getting any type of major U.S. China trade agreement ahead of the 2020 elections. Instead, looking at the USMCA ratification in the month of September or October. President tweeting out aggressively against China, just as Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and U.S. Trade Representative Bob Lighthizer are set to touch down in Shanghai. The president tweeting, quote, "China is doing very badly. Worst year in 27, was supposed to start buying our agricultural products now. No signs that they are doing so. That is the problem with China. They just don't come through. Our economy has become much larger than the Chinese economy in the last 3 years." For China's part, they're taking a much more tepid tone. The China Economic Daily blog on the Trade Talk saying that it might be a coincidence that the talks are being held in Shanghai, where, of course, the two sides signed the Shanghai Communique about 47 years ago. They go on to write, quote, "The differences that existed then between the two countries after decades of estrangement were definitely much greater than they are today." So, coupled with Secretary Mnuchin and Lighthizer seemingly saying a very much different tone than what President Trump is tweeting about, it's really anyone's guess about whether or not there's going to be any major breakthroughs. But the U.S. would like to see this shifted back to intellectual property structural reforms and away from the agriculture as well as Huawei debate that has gone on for several months now.
Hey, Kevin, just to follow up, I know you're looking ahead to the debates a little bit later this evening, and I just wonder whether the president has put trade on the agenda for later this evening.
Yes. Look, I think in terms of how trade policy impacts the political discourse here in 2020, there's no question that candidates like Senator Bernie Sanders are going to be going after the same type of working class voters with that populist streak that runs rampant, not just in Republican ideology, but also in progressive circles. Look for that. Mind you, Senator Sanders back in the 2016 cycle aggressively campaigned against Hillary Clinton at the time because of her support of NAFTA.